Well, good morning, y'all strangers. You know why this is my favorite time of year? Besides it being the holidays, I like the Christmas music. I like Christmas movies. It's the only time of year people don't make fun of me or give me very strange looks for having my tree up or trees, okay? When you start decorating in August and it's still pouring sweat outside, people tend to give you some strange looks. Dawn, Grandma 3, thank you for the super sticker, and it looks like somebody snuck one in on me. Danny dang. Girlfriend, what am I going to do with you? Woo, woo. YouTube's got this big drive for super chats. I think it's kind of damn selfish on their part. Let me explain why. What is the net worth of YouTube? In 2023, the brand value of YouTube stood at $29.71 billion US dollars. A year earlier, the value was estimated at a little over 23 billion. Sounds to me like YouTube needs to be super chatting my looking ass instead of the other way around. Let's take a second and tell everyone good morning, and I'm so happy you are here for Harmony. Then I got an update for you. You're going to like this. All right, a lot of you reached out to me overnight, this morning, you name it, about what Stacey Wandra did yesterday. Do not fret. Your buddy Brooks here will be talking about it tomorrow. Gotta get a few things together to do it properly. You know the routine. And a lot of you had questions about, is Kevin Underwood's execution going forward today? Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It's 9 o'clock here right now. I believe at 10 a.m. he gets to meet the devil. Oh, you got it. Well, speaking of devils, first of all, let's take a little vote around here. Do you believe that DCYF? Now, in the title, I put CPS under fire because most people understand CPS over what DCYF is, and I didn't want to keep explaining what it meant. Every state has a different initials for their child protective services. So do you think that the powers that be in Massachusetts and New Hampshire are going to be held accountable? Well, I know one that better be, actually two, who they call the gatekeeper of these children, not just Harmony. You can't tell me Harmony was the only one failed, but the judge as well. Okay, exciting news for the case, and I understand it's not a big old hot topic buzzing case, but hey, we're not giving up on Harmony. She is still missing, and there are still people that need to be held accountable. You know how we do around here. But a channel that I absolutely love, it's called Very Local. Very Local. And actually, I love Sophia too. Thank you for the super sticker, girlfriend. Woo, you look very beautiful today. I love your muumuu and your glasses with the chain. Sexy thing. They are doing a documentary to be announced, is what it said on their channel today. But here is the trailer. She needs all the exposure she can get.
We need assistance. We need help. We need to find this little girl.
Day one, we stepped into a cold case. Harmony hadn't been seen in 2 years.
That gave me chills, for that detective said, day one, we stepped into a cold case. Why? She's been missing 2 years. Nobody was looking for her. Nobody reported her. Her mom didn't seem to find it odd that she hadn't FaceTimed her daughter since Easter of 2019. Her mom wasn't returning voicemails from Department of Children, Youth, and Families. Connie, thank you for the super sticker. Woo, y'all are making me blush around here. Think about that. Is it not amazing that Teardrop is in jail for murder when, like they said, they stepped into a cold case? I'll tell you what, now they did have an eyewitness, which is step meth. And I have an idea for old Crystal, since she wants to be the hero. Why don't she just go ahead and civilly sue Kayla? Go ahead. And yeah, I get people are going to say, well, she won't get anything. You can't get blood out of a turnip. Hey, everyone's got a little jingle in their pocket, if you know what I mean. They can intercept tax refunds. They can do bank garnishments. Do it. Her proffer was only for her testimony to put Adam behind bars. Now, very interesting, and it's something that our girl Susan has talked about for years. What about the stimulus money? Because you know Harmony had stimulus money. She was definitely in the system because they were getting food stamps for her. Remember this? Update from New Hampshire Attorney General Kayla Montgomery obtained over $1,500 in food stamp benefits by failing to remove Harmony from Kayla's family account. That's what originally got her ass in trouble. That was the first squeeze, if you will. However, if they pursue the stimulus money, that, my compadres, is federal. No proffer for that. No proffer for that. See, we got to think outside the box. Just like my friend Amy, 18 months of loving you. Love you, Amy. Harmony's case is what brought me and Amy together. But they stepped into it. Day one, a cold case.
And seen in 2 years.
How does that happen? How does a little girl just vanish without anyone knowing that she's gone?
I'll go as far as I'm begging the community.
It felt like my world was ending.
You know, we always held out hope.
Did you believe she was still alive?
I did.
Hey, keep your hands where I can see them.
Adam Montgomery is a different type of human being.
Keep locking up on us. You don't want to tell us anything about her.
The police come up to him and say, we can't find your daughter. And his reaction is nothing.
She was transferred across state lines without a minute's worth of evaluation.
Here we are with conflicting stories, people pointing fingers at each other.
How did we make this decision?
Clearly, the system failed somewhere along the line.
A firestorm of questions and criticism about how child protection is conducted.
She started to tell us more than we had ever imagined this case would be.
I loved my daughter unconditionally and I did not kill her.
This was a little girl who didn't have a voice, who was failed by people around her.
I don't want people to think that it's over because it's not. It's not over.
How could the system break down this much?
Stream for free, only on Very Local.
Okay, y'all check that out, all right? I can't find it. It says it starts November 13th, but it also says to be announced. So subscribe to that channel if you have time, because I really want to see this documentary, because that channel does really good work, okay? We know old Brooks here doesn't have real tight editing skills. Speaking of, we don't need to edit this. Get your umbrellas, because it's raining Christmas presents. Crime Lines and Laws memberships just in time, because Monday's a big day. We have a huge member show. We're voting on Christmas trees, so there will be a prize for that. We have Christmas trivia. We have Meet the Moderator with Muscles and Mascara. We're season. 'Tis the season. Okay, so this is the fool that they keep calling the gatekeeper. Everything has to go through him in order to protect the children in their case file. Harmony Montgomery's DCYF investigator has domestic violence, sexual harassment past records show. Sounds bad to me. Sounds bad. The man the state of New Hampshire sent to investigate claims 5-year-old Harmony was being abused before he dismissed the case was twice removed from his positions during his career amidst alarming behavior, according to records obtained by indepthnh.org. But despite at least one known conviction, not accusation, not a he grabbed my ass. We're not talking about he said, she said. It was a conviction for domestic violence, later annulled in a separate complaint over sexual harassment. Demetrios Saros of Pembroke managed to stay employed by the New Hampshire Department of Health and Human Services. Now, if that was any of us, we'd have walked out of the HR meeting with a damn box sitting on our desk. Contacted Monday, Saros denied initially he had been fired in the past. When he testified at Harmony's trial, he said that he left the state in September of 2021 and was working for the U.S. Postal Service. Probably a better job for him. I don't even know where you're getting that, he said. When told, indepthnh.org obtained records from the State Personnel Appeals Board and the Police Standards and Training Council about his past employment history, Saros brought the conversation to a close and said, I don't want to discuss this anymore. I don't want to discuss this anymore. And he is a child welfare worker. Again, they call him the gatekeeper. He is central to the lawsuit brought by Harmony Montgomery's mother, Crystal, because he was a child protective service worker with the Division for Children, Youth, and Families. He was tasked in the summer of 2019 to investigate a report that Harmony was being abused by her father. According to the lawsuit, he failed to interview Harmony and Adam for weeks after the report was made that the girl had been beaten and given a black eye. Though he later reported seeing faded bruising and redness around her eye, Saros didn't speak to the girl, contact police, or take any other action, the lawsuit states. All right. Double-edged sword here, my friends, because this lawsuit is going down the pike. It's down the tracks. It's going. And some money, it looks to me, will be paid out. My question to you, my wonderful friends, who should get the money? Who should get the money? Because I have a hard time stomaching this piece of shit getting it. That is Crystal Sorey in all her glory. It's from the BostonGlobe.com, where she was arrested. She was 4 months pregnant in 2014. The mother was charged with helping Adam Montgomery evade police after the Haverhill shooting. The charges against her were later dropped, probably because she cooperated with the police and they needed her testimony. Give the money to Jameson. Please. Give it to Jameson. All right, let's get to the gatekeeper because it's sickening, my friends.
Welcome back. This morning, we're giving a voice to victims as the mother of Harmony Montgomery is trying to get some justice for her daughter. We've got some new information surfacing about the Child Protective Services worker who was supposed to be keeping Harmony safe. Demetrios Saros is central to the lawsuit filed by Harmony's biological mother, and he was sent to investigate claims that Harmony was being abused. You remember seeing him.
He ignored them. He totally admitted that he saw faded bruising, but he never contacted the police. That would have changed everything in this. Look at him. Look at that dick wrinkle. Just look at him. He looks like White Boy Radio's daddy. Look at those ears. He can signal Mars from sitting there. I agree with you 100%, Wist. As a matter of principle, she should win, and yes, give it to Jameson. Again, like I said, double-edged sword.
Testify, that's him. He allegedly failed to interview Harmony and her father, Adam Montgomery, for weeks after the report was made that Harmony had been beaten by Adam. Here he is testifying during Adam's trial.
I did notice a small red mark under one of her eyes and some redness, a discoloration in the eye that was closest to that.
This testimony under oath is what's going to really knock this out of the park. Chicken Lady, have they found the body yet? No, ma'am. I don't think there is a body. Sorry. I don't. There was, but not now.
Did the defendant tell you anything regarding how that injury occurred?
He did. He said that he had bought the kids, two younger children, he bought the kids like foam swords or lightsabers, and that they were playing with them, and that Harmony was struck in the face, in the eye, and that's how she got that mark.
So now we're learning that Soros was twice removed from his positions.
We're learning twice removed from his position. He acts like, now mind you, I'm going to tell you right now, bruising on a child isn't something that makes me go, oh my God, what's going on? Let's call 911. Because kids get into fights, they fall down, they do all kinds of stuff. All right? They do. But Uncle Kenny had already told him that he saw Adam do it. He said he saw him do it. Kenny's a piece of shit too, don't get me wrong, but they had a witness. Brenda said he'd be a good roommate for Adam. Oh, we're going to talk about how Adam's been treated in jail lately. Whoa.
Over a domestic violence conviction that was later annulled, and also a separate complaint over sexual harassment. What do you think about this? This guy kept his job. After all that, kept his job. I have another clip of him. You may remember this, again, testifying in the trial. Apparently, Adam was claiming that Harmony was with her mother. Remember all this? Remember a lot of the pointing the finger and trying to hide the ball? Let's take a look at what he testified to.
He had told me that Harmony was now living with her biological mother.
Do you recall the specifics of what he said about how she came to be with her biological mother?
He had said that she was having visits with her mother, and again, I'd have to probably look at my notes again, but I believe due to their unstable housing situation that Harmony had.
Hold on, Amanda, what are you talking about? She said, I think you all are thinking of Oakley Carlson. No, hun. Who are you talking about? This show's about Harmony Montgomery. We have a whole playlist about Harmony. Yeah, Jameson is Harmony's brother. I don't know what the confusion is about Oakley Carlson and Harmony, but anyway, this is definitely about Harmony.
Ended up staying with her mom.
Did you follow up with Crystal Sorey?
I did make an attempt. I called and I believe I left a voicemail.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it.
Okay, now this is actually important. This might screw her, okay? As they're going through the discovery process with her lawsuit, because it is part of the governor's, I'll say, research report as to what happened to Harmony, that they did leave multiple voicemails for Crystal. Hey, look, my voicemail's always full, but knowing that someone's trying to get a hold of you and they're calling repeatedly, hey, even if it's some damn scammer, at least find out who's calling you. You have a child. She has a lot of shit going on. So that might bite her in the ass.
This guy was the last one to see Harmony or put eyes on her, did the last check, I believe. It's been a while since that trial took place, but this guy's certainly in the hot seat right now. People wondering, why did he keep his job? Could he have done more for Harmony? It seems like she was disserved in every possible way she could have been. A little Harmony didn't stand a chance, it seems to me. I want to bring in now a very special guest. She calls it a cruel injustice. She wrote a book about Harmony's case called A Cruel Injustice. And she got to know about the case from presiding over the adoption for Harmony's little brother, Jameson, retired juvenile court judge, constitutional law expert, and author Carol Erskine on the show. One of the nicest and brightest people on the planet.
Has anyone read the book that she wrote for Harmony? That might be a gift that we give out at our members live. Harmony book for prize. If I don't write stuff down, I forget it. This is the truth.
Judge, it's so great to see you. Our viewers have just fallen in love with you really through so much work that you've done for Harmony, advocating for her, this book, collaborating with Blair and Jonathan Miller to try to get some justice for Harmony. And you're not getting a penny from this book. You're donating all the profits, I know, to the Dave Thomas Foundation for adoption. Let's start with your reaction to this news about Mr. Soros. What do you think about the fact that he kept his job, Judge?
Oh my gosh.
The fact that his last name is Soros just about made me spit some shit. Okay, but it's Soros with a T. With a T. I was like, am I really reading this right? Okay, rock on.
I'm stunned that he kept his job. I mean, you really, what we're looking at is a man who moved from job to job, position to position within the state system. They just moved him around. Every time he got in trouble, basically what happened is he would appeal and they would say, okay, we'll put you somewhere else. And so first he's a police officer. He's completely decertified as a police officer. And after he's decertified, what do? They move him into the Department of Youth Services, where he meets out in Montgomery. And then he runs into trouble there, sexual harassment claims there. He appeals that, and he had already lost his job as a police officer and decertified over domestic violence. And where do they move him? To the Department of Children and Youth Families in the department to deal with child abuse cases. It's absolutely shocking. It's stunning. It's just hard to believe that it could happen this way.
It really is, Judge. This poor child, could she have been disserved any more throughout her short lifetime? It is just so stunning to me. I know it is to you as well. I have another clip I want to play for you, please, Judge. This is from the trial. The prosecutor asking Soros about where Harmony was living. Let's take a look.
Did you see him put Harmony in that duffel bag?
Yes.
How did he put her in there, Kayla?
He folded her in half and put her in the double bag.
Goodness. She knew all this. This is her testimony. This is her testimony. This is stepmeth's testimony. Kayla said Adam was driving the vehicle and Harmony was in the rear seat on the passenger side. And while Adam was driving, he turned his body and delivered sets of 3 to 4 blows with a closed fist to Harmony's face, head, on 3 separate occasions over the course of a few minutes. Kayla said after the final blow, Adam said, "I think I really hurt her this time. I did something." She said Harmony began moaning, which continued for about 5 minutes before it stopped. No one checked on her or sought medical attention. And shortly after noon, Kayla said she and Adam discovered that Harmony was not breathing and had died. So if this man not doing his job, if he thinks for a minute that his little slip up, or what do they say, fell through the cracks, doesn't matter, oh yeah, it does. Because look what happened to her.
Okay, not the clip I was just referencing, but oh, what a good clip. Let's talk a little bit about Kayla. My goodness, her role in all this. Judge, how do you view Kayla? I don't know if I've ever asked you that question.
Yeah, I mean, I think I write a little bit about her in the book. There's sort of a dichotomy there between her being a victim because he was so abusive to her. I mean, you saw the pictures of her at the trial. But, you know, of course, the other side in the chapter I call Stepmother or Step Monster is for the whole time he's driving down Elm Street in Manchester and reaching back and pounding Harmony in the head, punching her and punching her and punching her while she's moaning and until she stopped breathing. And Kayla Montgomery never did anything. She never stopped it. She never got out of the car to ask for help. And she knew that Adam had given Harmony a black eye when the social worker went to the house that first day. Of course, he didn't see Harmony. He lied about that to New Hampshire investigators, but he did see Kayla that day, and she herself lied about it. She knew Harmony was being abused and beaten by her husband and said nothing to the social worker.
It is just infuriating hearing this. All these people, you know, not doing their jobs, you know, whether it's, you know, a job in Child Protective Services or a job, you know, as a wife and stepmother, not doing your job in protecting that beautiful child. Judge, what do you expect will happen with this lawsuit that Harmony's biological mother has filed? How do you see this playing out in court?
Well, I think the lawsuit, it gives everybody a real look at what was happening behind the scenes. That's one of the most, I think, important aspects to this lawsuit. I mean, it really is eye-opening. And from my perspective in reading it, my question is, why isn't the Attorney General or the District Attorney in Manchester filing child endangerment charges against the social worker?
I would like to know too. Maybe they will once the civil verdict is reached. Maybe they will. But as we know, Gabriel Fernandez, criminal charges didn't bode well. I don't remember why, but it was disgusting. Now, in the case of little AJ in Illinois, yes, the social workers did get in criminal trouble.
Because the standard in New Hampshire is for child endangerment, knowingly endangering a child and in doing so purposefully, by violating your duty of care and protection. I mean, based on that definition, it's really distressing to me that they know all this and that it's in the case notes. I mean, because even if you look at the very, very first day he went there and lied about the fact that he saw Harmony and examined her, then basically he endangered her by not examining her and seeing that black eye, which he didn't see for many days afterwards. And he had a duty of care, which he violated by not following the policy and examining her and then notifying the child protection team and the Manchester police. And there are a dozen other times that he did not follow through with his duty of care. And so, I think this raises the specter of why isn't anybody looking at the potential for criminal charges here? Because
I am. I think they're making their job easier because once they go, for one, okay, he's already testified under oath what a lazy, no good bummy is, okay? But more is going to come out through the discovery, questioning, all that stuff with the civil case. And Britt. Oh, Britt's on it today. When he was in the bathroom with Harmony's body, Kayla could have ran and turned him in. Yeah, but she got a big old fat proffer agreement to tell him all that. Because this is Kayla's sworn affidavit. Kayla stated that at some point after Harmony's body was in the refrigerator, Adam transferred Harmony's body from the Under Armour duffel bag into a new bag. Stepmeth stated that this happened in the bathroom. Stepmeth stated that on the day in question, Adam spent 4 to 6 hours inside of the bathroom at the Union Street apartment with the shower running. Stepmeth then described Adam as placing Harmony's dead body inside of what she described as a Catholic Medical Center CMC maternity bag. This bag was much smaller, and it would not likely fit Harmony's body unless it was dismembered. Lots of opportunities to do the right thing, and they all failed Harmony. All of them. And it's time when these social workers don't do their jobs, they get called to the carpet. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
What happened is, in my view, was criminal in nature because this was, I think, the last opportunity for Harmony to live. He was the gatekeeper. He was her last opportunity to really save her from the man who eventually beat her to death in the back seat of that car.
Brilliant analysis, Judge Erskine. This is really something that our viewers can watch for. I'm assuming they're still within the statute of limitations, right? That they could do this even though we're going back a ways.
Ridiculous. You're scared of fire? Don't be a fireman. You don't want to chase bad guys? Don't be a policeman. Kids get on your damn nerves? Don't be a teacher. You can't stand the sight of blood or needles? Don't be a nurse. So when are they all going to be held accountable for epic failures that are costing children their lives?
Yeah, it's hard to know whether it's still in the statute of limitations, and so that might be something that is raised as a possibility. I'm not sure what the statute of limitation is. You're right; it happened in 2019, and all this is just coming up now. But this was Harmony's last chance, in my view, and it's just so distressing.
Oh, you're so right. Excellent analysis from you, as always. And so we're looking at about 5 years. It very well could be within that statute, and look, everybody needs to be held accountable for what happened to this precious child. And this is certainly something to watch. You've given us some great information, Judge. We'll think about this and be watching as Mr. Soros sits in the hot seat for a while for what he did and didn't do for precious Harmony. Judges, we thank you and say goodbye.
Good way to phrase it. It's not what he did do, because he didn't do jack shit. It's what he didn't do. He ignored an eyewitness statement from the uncle. He waited weeks to approach Adam and saw fading bruising. Still did not contact the police. He made a couple of half-ass phone call attempts to get a hold of Crystal. Big whoop. She didn't give a shit. She hadn't even questioned not talking to her daughter, seeing her daughter, FaceTiming her daughter, nothing. So it's not what he did, it's what he didn't do. That's a really good way to phrase it. Hats off to you, Court TV, in that pretty green dress. There's a lot going on, though, because this right here, hang on, this is from CBS Boston. This is still ongoing. Diana, where is the gatekeeper now? Working for the damn post office. He works for the post office. Probably the reason I haven't got my Christmas card from Uli yet. Yes. Good morning, Kaleidoscope.
Now, a Massachusetts state senator is asking his colleagues to get to work immediately to create a child welfare commission. He's worried, he says, about the safety of other children like Harmony Montgomery. State Senator Michael Moore says the commission would take a closer look at how child welfare is handled in our state. A report issued last week shows that Harmony Montgomery's safety and well-being were not prioritized by the DCF when she was put into the custody of her father. Of course, Harmony vanished back in 2019 while in her dad's care, but wasn't reported missing until late last year. Senator Moore says the state needs to do more to protect children.
We may have other children who are in the current same situation. It could be another tragedy waiting to happen. We've got issues that were identified by the Office of Child Advocate, and I think personally that this is something that needs to be addressed immediately.
To this point, Harmony still has not been found. Her father is charged with assaulting her, but he has not been able to explain what happened to her. Lisa?
So the powers that be, the lazy-ass lawmakers that our tax dollars pay for their very posh life, they still have something open. Uh-oh. DT Driver. Amazon is striking today, too. Well, damn it. There you go. There you go. All right, so this is the judge. Now, this is the part of the show. This is from WCVB, Channel 5 Boston. This is the part of the show where I say, check on Susan. Our girl, Just Me, Awesome Mod, Awesome Sauce Mod. This is the part where I go check on her because she's not okay. Because this judge pisses her off to no end. So we know Soros is a paper-pushing piece of shit that didn't do his job. But all of this was put in front of the judge before Soros even got involved. Before he was ever into the picture. He's the one that let Teardrop get Harmony.
Welfare systems in 2 states are also under fire. Let's get right to 5 Investigates. Kathy Curran with the exclusive details tonight at 6. Kath?
And Ed and Maria, sources tell us that Massachusetts judge at the center of this case was Mark Newman. He retired in 2019.
Mark Newman. Now, he's basically what you would call a substitute judge now. Last I heard. No. You have one job. Soros's job was to be, as they say, the gatekeeper. To make sure the buck stops here. Nothing gets by me. If a child is being abused, I'm going to make sure it's taken care of. That was his one job. Didn't do it. Now, don't get me going on Teardrop, Step Meth, and Mini Meth, who is Crystal Sorey. Because it always starts with the family. The family fails first. That's why these other people have to get involved. So nobody here has clean hands. When your one job as a judge is to have good judgment and you have bad judgment, you don't get to judge no more. No. That's when you go rent a space in a strip center You hang your shingle out and use your law degree. You help with some DUIs, slip and falls at the Walmart, someone that had a box of laundry soap hit him at the Family Dollar. You do shit like that. You don't get to judge no more.
Months after he granted custody to Harmony's father, a man with a criminal history who was living in New Hampshire. Judge Newman, Kathy Curran from 5 Investigates. Retired Judge Mark Newman keeps his back to the camera and heads for the door.
Oh, he did. Look at him running his ass away. He running his ass right in the house.
Not answering any of our questions. We just want to ask you a couple of questions about the Harmony Montgomery case. He sat on the bench for almost 17 years, received many awards, and can be seen in this video encouraging kids to stay in school.
We can raise the educational achievement of your children.
But sources tell 5 Investigates Newman is at the center of the troubling case involving 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery, who has been missing for 2 years. He was the first justice of the Essex County Juvenile Court in 2019 when he made the controversial ruling in Harmony's case, granting her father, Adam, who was living in New Hampshire, custody of the little girl. Records show Adam Montgomery had criminal histories in Massachusetts and New Hampshire and served several years behind bars before regaining custody. His convictions include criminal threatening, assault, armed robbery, and assault with intent to murder for shooting a man he was buying heroin from in the face.
Yep. All right. So when their theory is to keep families together, in concept, it's a good idea, right? Help out the parents. They're having a hard time. Let's get them some resources. Let's get them some counseling, in theory. But when you're looking at a dude with the teardrop on his face that shot a dude in the face, he might not be the best fit to keep the family fabric together.
Now he faces child endangerment and assault charges for hitting Harmony.
This is an appalling decision.
Child advocate Maureen Flatley says it should have been obvious that placing Harmony with her dad would put her in harm's way.
If anybody suggested that this child might be appropriately placed with a father that had a criminal record that included shooting somebody, they really need to have their head examined.
Harmony had been in the custody of the Massachusetts Department of Children and Families. 5 Investigates has learned the case was being handled out of DCF's Haverhill office. When a child in state custody is being placed in a home across state lines, the Interstate Compact for the Placement of Children, or ICPC, comes into play. The agreement would have triggered New Hampshire's Division of Children, Youth, and Families to ensure the home and the caregiver can meet the child's needs, to put services in place, and make sure the child is monitored and safe.
Let's go through the checklist of what was supposed to be done. Ensure the home and the caregiver can meet the child's needs. Fail. Put services in place. Fail. Now you're going to get a bunch of people going, well, that's because of COVID. Brooks, that's because of COVID. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't go to the house. They didn't want to get the COVID. No. We're talking about children. Okay? Make sure the child is monitored and safe. Fail. Fail. All of it. And all these people will go on with their lives, even Teardrop. He's alive. He's not having a good time in prison, but he's alive. Stepmeth has moved on with her life. She's out of jail. This Soros dude will probably get a slap on the wrist and just go back to working for the post office, get his federal retirement. The judge, they probably won't touch him. They don't really like to do things with judges. So all these failures, who paid the price? Harmony.
In this case, Judge Newman granted custody to her father with no ICPC in place.
Well, it seems to me like the system failed pretty much in every possible way that it could.
Harmony fell off the radar of child welfare agencies despite warnings of abuse and neglect from family members and police responses to her Manchester home. This week, New Hampshire's governor blasted the Massachusetts court system for placing Harmony in the hands of a, quote, monstrous drug dealer.
Why a judge in Massachusetts would have placed Harmony in the custody of this monster that had a record of drug dealing, had a record of assault, of violent assaults.
We just want to know what played into your decision. And the trial court is cooperating with the states in.
Oh, he ran. He ran. He's not going to answer to that. No. But since they're bringing up old Teardrop, he has been moved from the prison in New Hampshire to a prison in Virginia. Why, you ask? Because the people that are in charge of keeping the prisoners safe in the pokey could not keep Adam safe. Oh, no. No. They, somebody wasn't looking one day. Maybe Soros works there too. I don't know. And a bunch of dudes that are bigger than Adam and had very full bowels took turns taking a crap in his potty, grabbed him and stuck his head in it, and then stuck something in his bunghole. So this is from Viking Mindset, who is telling us this is what's going to happen to Adam in the jail. It's already happened. It's already happened.
So what will happen to Adam Montgomery in prison, the man who's on trial for killing his own daughter? Now, in case you're not familiar with this case or who this person is, this guy is from New Hampshire. And this is literally...
Obviously, this is before Adam was found guilty. So if anybody asks, let's please just give a friendly reminder. That's the only one I got in me.
the definition of when the system fails. This is literally when the children's voice are never heard until it's too late. And this shit happens too many times. So before I give you a rundown of exactly what's going to happen to him in prison, to this piece of shit, let me give you a rundown of this case. So 2014, a beautiful baby girl is born, Harmony. You know, unfortunately, the one thing in life you can't do wrong is be a parent. You could fuck up, rebuild, go bankrupt, rebuild, get arrested, get out, rebuild, but you can't fuck up at being a parent. So she's born, and her biological mother and her biological father are both drug addicts. One is in prison and one is struggling just to stay sober. So she keeps losing her baby, the mother of Harmony, and it goes into foster care, comes back to her, goes into foster care. So eventually the baby gets adopted and the family's trying to fully adopt it. Well, the piece of shit Adam gets out of prison and files to get full custody. So now...
Woo! Woo! If it was Wednesday and he was wearing pink, I'd say he could sit with us. Let's take a vote. Can this dude sit with us? That piece of shit, Adam.
On the beginning, you know, he's seeing his daughter for about 5 months in 2017, 18, and eventually he just never shows his face again. He eventually gets back in his daughter's life and ends up getting full custody. The mom's still on dope, and at that time he was clean. So now he's living with her, his girl, and his other 2 kids he has from another woman. So basically his daughter's half brothers and sisters. So at this time, he has an uncle there. And an uncle makes an anonymous report saying that, yo, man, he's beating the shit out of her. He's putting her in timeout so long that she's peeing herself. And now, mind you, this girl is only 5 years old, saying she's scrubbing the bathroom with her toothbrush. I mean, just sick shit that you don't ever do to any kid, let alone your own kid. So around 2017, a FaceTime call with the mom, the biological mother, and Adam, the biological father, basically was kind of sketchy. Like she could feel that her daughter was kind of being coached, and it would pause, and she could just see the fear. And she just had a gut feeling that something wasn't right. So he disappears. DCF comes to the house about to complain about her having a black eye and all the mistreatment. Nobody does shit. He says, I was one of the other kids fucking around. She's straight. Mind you, at this time, they're living off of a generator in that house. And then they eventually get kicked out the house, and he's got him, his girl, and 3 kids living out of a regular car, like a regular sedan. Like I said, times get hard, but you sacrifice it all for your kid. It doesn't matter if you ain't gonna eat. They need to be somewhere safe, a bed, healthy, and protected. So the mom just has a feeling something wasn't right with that call.
Okay, well, the mom didn't answer her voicemail. She came in after she had been pressured by Jameson's adopted fathers. When Jameson was sounding the alarm that he misses Harmony, as Danny Dane has said for years, Jameson is the one that got this going. It wasn't anyone else. Jameson missed his sister. His adoptive fathers reached out to Crystal multiple times. We got to get the kids together. We want to send her some toys. He wants to see his sister. Finally, she was like, okay, fine. I'll figure out what's going on. I mean, shit, man, I got a life too, type of thing. And it all unwound from there. Fun to Ski said, it's all our business to help the helplessness of children and seniors. In my opinion, you are right. You are right. I don't know who the hell's running around saying it's not our business. That's freaking nuts.
And for 2 years, she can't find her daughter. So she keeps making complaints with, Department of Children's and Family and everything in New Hampshire, the cops, just constantly making complaint after complaint. And they're basically telling her, you don't have custody. You have to file in the courts, just giving her the runaround. And it took about 10 files and grievances for them to finally do a little bit of investigation. They go to Adam and say, where's your daughter at? Oh, he's with the mom. So nobody thought it was suspicious that, hey, the mom is saying the daughter isn't with her, and now he's not with her either. And he's saying that the daughter's with her, the one that's looking for her daughter. I mean, come on. I mean, y'all could put 2 and 2 together. Something ain't right, especially with the history they have. But instead, more time goes by. And finally, she writes to the mayor and says, this shit is fucked up. I'm going to go public with this. And within like a month, they're doing a full-on investigation looking for the girl. So after it all became public, and it's a major investigation on this beautiful girl, Harmony, 2 years have already passed. So they find Adam, and basically what they say is, you're coming down here. They interrogate him. So as he's lying and manipulating the system, the mother of his other 2 kids, they call her in, and they say, hey, when was the last time you saw Harmony? Oh, it was like 2 days before Thanksgiving. I was working at Dunkin' Donuts. Adam came there and said he was bringing them back to the mom's house. Well, they find out she wasn't working any of those shifts. Complete lie, perjury. They bring her in, and she says, no, I'll cop out. I'll testify against him. Adam killed that baby and does it all, and they give her 18 months. But that's not even the sick part of the whole thing. But while they launch an investigation, they find a bunch of stolen guns and dope, and Adam gets hit with the Habitual Offender Act and gets basically 30 years in prison, followed by 10 years in prison, followed by 13 years in prison for burglaries, possession of firearms.
Oh, yeah, they stacked it on. They were like, this guy's never getting out. And you know what? They're still investigating a case out of Lynn. Is it Lynn? Amy in Boston, help me. Is it Lynn, Massachusetts, where he is a suspect in a man's murder? But that man's parents are such sweet people. They said, no. You take care of Harmony's case first. Then we'll get back to my son. V. Oakley, exactly. Then followed by life in prison. Yeah. And a belly full of black men's shit because they put his head in the toilet.
convicted felon, just case after case. Now, they usually run them concurrent, which means you can have 10 charges and yeah, it might be 50 years, but they're going to just have you do one bid. But instead, what they're having them do is 30 years, then 8 years, and 10 years, because they don't want this motherfucker to ever get out, and they want to keep him where they can find him during his trial. So shit gets real now. They know that he did some foul ass shit, but 2 years have gone by, right? And that's a long time for a little child to be missing. I mean, come on, man. That's just, I can't go 2 minutes without thinking about my son, let alone someone talking about 2 years. So his girlfriend at the time, or his wife, whatever you want to call her, the mother of his other 2 kids, says,
Good morning, Rebecca, one of my favorite people on the planet. Danny Dane said, I bet he looked so cute running to the warden all covered in poopy, wanting a shower. Oh, I think he was kind of limping. Okay. He's a grown man that had to wear a maxi pad, if you know what I mean. He didn't have a good time at all. Oh, Rebecca Mikalo. She is Corey's grandmother. I guarantee she's sitting on pins and needles waiting for this to happen to Christopher Greger, and it will. Believe it or not, there is a code of conduct in the pokey. And they do not like people that hurt children. No.
that basically what happened was she had an accident in the car and he beat his daughter to death. And they would basically keep her in the car, and then as she started to decompose, they would put her in a duffel bag and put her in like a cooler, a freezer, and slowly start to chop up little pieces of the body. It's a rough one, guys. They even hid her behind some drywall. Neighbors were complaining about the smell. Long story short, they chopped her up and nobody knows where she is. And they did it over the course of 2 years. So fast forward, the man's already in prison while he's facing this murder trial. Now, I know motherfuckers like him. Piece of shit, demonic cowards. See, the worst part about it is he plays tough guy. He likes to play that gangster role, but that's a wrap. You killed your own child, homie. It's a wrap. You get no respect. All that fake gangster shit, all those tough guy tattoos, all that tough talk, all those teardrops. Oh, everybody sees through that shit now. You beat a little girl to death and then hid her body, your own flesh and blood, a baby girl. So a guy like that goes into prison and he still tries to act hard. He still tries to keep that front on. But one thing about it, doing my research on this case, this man's going to get hit up immediately. Obviously, during the trial and during everything to keep him safe. That's just how it goes, because they need to get justice for all the victims, for Harmony. But once that's over, they're not trying to extort this man. They're not trying to give him slow pain. It's on site. Every single day of his life, the COs, the convicts, the fucking GED teachers, everybody wants to get at him. And
Woo-hoo-hoo. He got a target on his back, and we already know. Because remember, he got that toilet plunger treatment to his bunghole. He got a belly full of black men's shit. Okay? And I'm not being racist against shit. I'm just saying that's what they said. And those old boys that made him swirl around in their poop, I think all they got was like extra cafeteria duty. They didn't go to solitary or nothing from what I read.
And his mask has been removed. He's so used to playing the tough guy, the gangster, and trying to fit in with a crowd. But the true him has been revealed. And he is so embarrassed. He's so humiliated. And that's the best thing you can do to a coward like that. A piece of shit child killer is show the world who they are. I mean, they're going to poison his tray. I mean, they're going to shit in his food. Every chance they get, hit him with.
Well, they didn't poison his tray and they didn't shit in his food. They they did a little different than that. They had to take his ass to another state. No pun intended. His maxi pad ass to Virginia because they said, we can't keep him safe. No way. We'd have to have people around him all the time. These dudes want him dead. They hate him. And these people have nothing to lose. They have nothing to lose.
With dirty needles, slice him across the face. I mean, open the door, let somebody come in there and just beat his face in, feet, hands. I mean, every chance they get. And those little gang tattoos he have, oh, it's mandatory that they're going to cut those off his fucking throat. I promise you. The second any OG sees where he's at and is able to make a call on it, those tattoos are coming off from ASAP from that organization that he's trying to represent and be tough with. Eventually, he's either going to take his own life or someone's going to cut his throat in the middle of the night because it's a type.
This guy should write cards for Hallmark. Could you imagine getting a Christmas card written by this Viking dude? I'm going to cut those tattoos off your face. Gonna shit in your tray. Merry Christmas. Woo!
Type of crime. It doesn't matter your race, your religion. Doesn't matter what side of the fence you on, CO, convict, whatever it may be, gang, organization. You do this to a little girl, you did this to your own daughter and try to play tough and try to represent an organization. Oh no, they all come together and cut your fucking throat out. That's what his future is. They'll let him be safe until he gets found guilty. Then within about a year or two, his throat's getting cut. Now, this is what happens when the system.
Okay, well, his jugular seems to be fine right now, but it didn't take too long when he got to the big pen, not county, for them to figure out who Teardrop was. That's what happens when you have a tattoo on your face. There it is. And on his neck. Didn't take them long. And they said, we're going to show him the ropes. He likes punching little girls in the face 3 times and killing them. See how he feels. Let's just see how he feels, because the state of New Hampshire fed him all corn the night before. So there was a lot of poop to go around.
System fails you. Time and time again, you see the parents taking matters into their own hands because the system fails you. They lie, they manipulate and shut you down. Stay out, stay free. Us.
Great channel. Well, he puts it down. I got to send him an email because I don't think he knows about that prison corn pone that Adam got. Okay, so yesterday I had a video from our friends over at the Misery Machine. Man, they have 590,000 subscribers. I got to tighten up my belt and learn how to do some editing. Too bad Kat's always busy. They put together a great video. Some of it isn't totally accurate, but we're going to go through it because I'm really glad that people are keeping Harmony's case alive. Not because I'm trying to be grim and shit, because it does bother me that people keep talking about Gannon's case. Look, the one person that did it is in jail forever and a day. And when Gannon's family's like, I don't want to hear her prison phone calls. I don't care if she's reaching out to Aunt Brenda. I think we should respect that. But when it comes to Harmony, I do think there is more conversation to be had because other people should be held accountable. The judge, the social workers.
Addresses for Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery, but none of those leads panned out, and both father and daughter were unable to be located. The most bizarre part, Harmony was last seen in October of 2019 when she was just 5 years old. That is correct. It has taken 2 years for Harmony to be reported missing.
So according to her last sighting in 2019, Harmony is around 4 feet tall and weighs 50 pounds. She has blue eyes, naturally blonde hair, and happens to be blind in her right eye. She also wears glasses to aid her vision. In 2019, she was enrolled in school in Massachusetts, but later stopped attending. So why did she stop attending? Was it COVID related? I mean, that's quite possible.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get a solid reason as to why she stopped attending school. So on December 31st, 2021, detectives spoke with Adam's wife, Kayla Montgomery, who shares 3 younger children with Adam. She stated the last time she had physically seen Harmony was sometime in November or December of 2019, after Adam advised her that he was dropping his daughter off with her mother in Lowell, Massachusetts. She also advised that she had seen Harmony with a black eye in the past, which Adam dismissed as the result of children playing rough.
Kayla had not seen Adam since October of 2021 and had not heard from him since November. She stated that Adam was living in a sober living house and had left to live with another woman in Maine. The same day, police were finally able to make contact with Adam, who was found sleeping in a vehicle in the area of Harville Street in Manchester with his new girlfriend, Kelsey Small, whom he'd been having an affair with for over a year. Kelsey claimed that she had never seen any of Adam's children from his previous relationships and said that she had no information regarding Harmony's whereabouts. In fact, Adam had never spoken about Harmony at all.
Police became concerned during their interview with Adam as his story became inconsistent and he eventually refused to answer questions. Adam claimed that he had dropped Harmony off with her mother around Thanksgiving of 2019. At that time, Crystal was living in Lowell, Massachusetts with her then boyfriend, Joseph Eckert. However, Joseph was also interviewed that same day and claimed that he had never met Harmony ever in his life.
Harmony's mother, Crystal, recently posted a series of photos of the young girl, imploring people to come forward with any information regarding her. And this is a quote from her Facebook. Quote, "Listen, please. If anyone from the Manchester, New Hampshire area or even Mass has seen my 7-year-old daughter Harmony or her father Adam Montgomery, please reach out to me ASAP. She is currently missing. There will be a press release this evening giving more information about the situation and who to contact. Please share this," end quote.
In a later post, she added, quote, "Please, I'm begging you, if anyone has seen my daughter or knows anything, please contact the detectives at the bottom of this article or contact me directly. Harmony, mommy's coming for you, I promise, and I will never let you go. Hang on, baby," end quote.
I don't know who that woman is in the middle. And, you know, they're really simping a lot for Crystal. They are. I don't get it. I mean, at this point, it's futile to keep tearing the woman down. She knows what she did. It just really pisses me off that when this lawsuit pays out, and it looks like it will, that she might profit. She might profit from her failure as a mother.
Quote.
Crystal also lashed out at folks who slammed her for failing to report her missing child in the past 2 years. In a Facebook post, she stated, quote, "My daughter is missing and this is what people are focusing on, throwing my past on Front Street and trying to make it look like I don't care." And
dipshit. Yeah, of course they're asking. It comes out that Harmony's been missing for 2 years. Of course they're going to be like, hold on. Where's the fire now? Why are you just now getting involved? This is your daughter. She's like, oh, that's what you're focusing on? Call me simple, but it's a fair question. It's a fair question.
end quote. Eventually, Crystal set her profile to private.
It had been speculated that Crystal Sorey had been a habitual drug user who had been in and out of rehab multiple times. Additionally, reports claim that Adam Montgomery is also an addict, thus why he was alleged.
And I know some people have said to me about the way I talk about Candace Wells. I've thrown quite a bit of shade at Katie Proudfoot. Crystal Sorey, I have. And I noticed after some of the shows about little Corey that was killed by his father, Christopher Gregor, they're like, well, how come you don't talk about Corey's mom that way? Because she worked her ass off to try to prevent this. There is a difference. I'll even have people say, oh, well, you certainly don't have anything bad to say about Brandy Neal. No. No. Like I said in the show yesterday, I said, look, these parents are beating themselves up over something that the neighbor did. But it's 11 minutes after 10 now. Looks to me like they're hooking up old Kevin Underwood right now. He's not going to be of this planet anymore, because in Oklahoma, when you do something like that, you get to go meet the devil.
Allegedly living in a sober living house. The last time Crystal had physically seen her daughter was during an Easter 2019 FaceTime call.
So this case, for me, echoes the Ayla Reynolds case in so many ways. So we have a mother, Crystal, who, much like Trista, did not have custody of her daughter because she was going to get herself cleaned up. And in the interim, while the father has custody of the child, she turns up missing. And it really bums me out because I know when this was going on, I mean, it's still going on with Ayla. She hasn't been found. But in the very beginning, a lot of people threw a lot of shade on Trista. For one, being an addict, two, not having custody of her daughter. Well, you know, I really feel that folks who are addicted, who clean themselves up and make every attempt, should have their children. And Trista was doing just that, has done that. And it looks like Crystal was doing the same for herself. So I really, really resent the fact that folks are giving her crap for this.
If truly she had to give up custody in order to get clean so she could be a better mother for her daughter, it's hard for me to hold that against her. I know when you hear, oh, Harmony hasn't been reported missing and it's been 2 years, you immediately think, okay, well, where were the parents? But it's hard to put that blame on Crystal for me personally, given that she was trying to clean herself up.
There's
See, this head petter stuff I just can't handle. But that's their opinion. That's their channel. I do enjoy their channel. You're just not going to get that from your old buddy Brooks up here. Okay? You're just not. That's the reason people come after me going, oh my God, Seth's the only person who's been looking for Sebastian Brooks. Brooks, what are you doing talking about Seth? Oh my God. Come on, just tell it like it is.
There's some reports that actually state that when Crystal was in Lowell, she would go try to find them. That she had made other reports before and they weren't taken seriously. That before the November report, other reports were made and she was trying to find Adam and Harmony.
Hi, baby. If you can see me or you can hear me, I want you to know that I never stop looking for you and I won't stop fighting until I find you, okay? And you stay strong and Mommy's right here fighting for you.
Lie. I never stopped looking for you. Are you kidding me? By the time you even realized no one had seen her, she had already been moved from an Under Armour bag into freezers, refrigerators at the Econo Lodge, into a maternity bag, dismembered, blood down the drain. I mean, you name it. I never stopped looking for you. You never started looking. Okay? Let me fix that sentence. You never started looking. And this lawsuit's like $15 million last I read. Correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think Crystal Sorey deserves $15 million? Totally your opinion. You guys are judge and jury here.
I love you.
And on top of that, if you think about it for a little bit, why other family members hadn't reported missing for 2 years or in the pandemic, a lot of folks haven't seen their family. I can say that I've seen my family maybe a handful of times in the last 2 years.
I didn't even get to see my baby niece for many, many months during the pandemic. So this isn't an uncommon thing. We both know many people that have not seen family members for a very long time.
So as I had stated before, some have wondered why it took so long for Crystal to report her daughter missing. And according to a now deleted Facebook post, Crystal stated, quote, myself and her family have filed dozens of reports of abuse and neglect, and nothing was done until I called police and wrote a letter to the New Hampshire mayor.
Okay, she did send an email to the mayor. True. She did. And again, this show isn't geared towards Crystal. We're really today talking about Adam eating shit literally, and how this new stuff's coming out about the CPS failures. Anyhow, she made her Facebook private because people were calling her out on her lies. And these are people that she knows, not trolls, the people that she knows. All right? When the governor's report came out, all of these reports that she claimed to have made did not exist. So we got to do our homework around here, friends. That's why what we do is we call it a deep dive. We're doing a deep dive.
This is all I will say until I'm allowed to say more. I will not hinder my daughter's investigation, end quote.
And I'm sure if all those things were done, it will all come out in the end.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me that she's not allowed to talk or provide proof of that. At first, when I heard this, I felt like the mother didn't do enough. I would wait to pass judgment on that because it very well could have been that she was.
Thank you, Rebecca. Absolutely true. It's one thing if you don't see a family member or people in general during the pandemic, but no phone call, nothing. You don't call the police, somebody, anybody. Yeah. You're not going to get the phone. You're not going to get COVID from the phone. Come on. Make a call.
Trying to do everything right and was being blocked or was not taken seriously. Recently, police searched a home in Manchester for several hours with trucks and tarps as part of the investigation into Harmony's disappearance. Investigators blocked off a property on Guilford Street, but would not comment on what they were looking for or what, if anything, they found.
News sources spoke with the woman who lives at that home. She said that she had just moved there and had never met or had anything to do with Harmony or her family. She and her neighbors stated that they have no idea what, if anything, was found. They also said they don't know much about the family. News sources have also spoken to residents at an old address registered to Harmony's father. The anonymous resident who lives there used to be neighbors with Harmony's dad and came to his defense.
Quote, shock.
Oh, he did. And I really thought when they had all those like heated blankets, I say blankets just to give you a visual, at the Guilford Street address, I really thought that they were going to find her because they had to basically defrost the ground, and they started digging and digging and digging and digging, and they didn't find her. Okay. It wasn't until they squeezed Kayla that she told them what happened. Rebecca said the system is broken all over the world, but this mom didn't seem to try to find her daughter. So as I told you before, Rebecca is Corey Mikolow's grandmother. Now, if a family deserves a big payout for a CPS failure, that would be the family of Corey. Okay? Bree, her mother, her daughter, yeah. Crystal, not so much. Set that up, a fund for Jameson. Get the money, but do the right thing. Do the right thing.
Shocking and sad, especially when you know the person involved. It's just crazy. I know everybody wants to point to him like he hurt her or something, but he's not capable of doing that. He is such a good guy. I saw him here with his other kids. He used to talk to us about his daughter a few times. You could tell he was really sincere about it. He told us that the mother came to the grandmother's house they lived at and took her and never brought her back, end quote.
In a Facebook post, a young woman named Naya discussed Harmony's father. Quote, "Hello, everyone. I'm Harmony Montgomery's older cousin. As many of you know, a report for my cousin was made stating she'd been missing for 2 years. Yes, that is accurate, but what many of you don't know is Harmony is in or was last known to be in the custody of her father, Adam Montgomery, last known in the area of Manchester. Any information would be highly appreciated, even if it's years old. Please don't be shy to direct message me or call. Any information helps. This post is also for the ignorant people who want to form an opinion off a news broadcast that doesn't give you any valid information," end quotes. We actually reached out to Naya for a comment, like she suggested, but as of the date of this recording, she hasn't responded.
Additionally, Harmony's uncle, Michael Montgomery, made the following Facebook post, quote, "Everyone, whether I know you or do not, even if we have never spoken, if you are seeing this, please do me a massive favor and share this post. This is my niece, Harmony. She is missing. I do not know why it says missing since 2019. That info is wrong. But nonetheless, the more eyes that see this, the better. Someone has to have info on her whereabouts, and you never know if a friend of a friend of a friend can lead the police to some information on her, end quote.
In a comment, he wrote, quote, her father has had the whole family blocked by phone and social media for years. He had custody of Harmony last I spoke with him in 2019. The mother has recently been trying to get visits with her but could not get a hold of the father. The MPD, I'm assuming Manchester Police Department, has gotten a hold of him and he is not cooperating. That's all I know. I live 1,500 miles away, end quote.
Washington, D.C. television anchor Blair Miller revealed that Harmony is the sister of his adopted son, Jameson. Miller shares 3 adopted sons with his husband, Jonathan. He stated that, quote, when we adopted Jameson, he'd been well aware of his relationship with Harmony, end quote. He said it was difficult to keep that relationship going over the years. He said that he had never met Harmony, but he said they have had a close relationship with Jameson's and Harmony's mom. He shared that Jameson often asks about his sister and that his family has unsuccessfully tried to reach Harmony since adopting Jameson in November of 2019.
Miller also tweeted the following, quote, we've been asked this question repeatedly and understandably. Why did we not adopt Harmony and Jameson together? When we adopted Jameson, Harmony had already been reunited with family. Jameson.
And I feel so bad for the adoptive fathers of Jameson because they wanted to adopt Harmony as well. And we saw on the stand her foster mother that would have done anything to keep her. It is so sad. TM is in here and she said, Brooks, it drives me crazy. What a pretty avatar. Girl, you looking good. You looking good.
Had not, so we were able to adopt just him. Harmony's case was closed. Please bring awareness to her case. It's devastating, end quote.
Now, finally, on January 4th, 2022, Adam Montgomery was arrested and booked on an array of charges, including felony second-degree assault in connection with 2019 conduct against his daughter. Prosecutors have also charged Montgomery with 1 misdemeanor charge of interference with custody and 2 misdemeanor charges of endangering the welfare of a child pertaining to Harmony. Additionally, Adam's wife Kayla was arrested on January 5th, the following day, for welfare benefits fraud after failing to remove Harmony from her.
Now then, just because old stepmeth got a proper agreement to testify against Adam, and what do you all think about the victim's impact statements when it sounded like she was writing Adam a love letter? Just because she got that proffer agreement does not mean that, I hate to say it, Crystal Sorey can't sue her civilly. All right? I don't care if she pays her $10 a month till she shits the bed. $10, hey, she needs that. Okay? Stepmeth needs that. Also, does not mean that federally they cannot prosecute her for keeping that stimulus money, knowing that Harmony was in an Under Armour bag at the time.
Her family's social services account. It's alleged that Kayla illegally collected over $1,500 in food stamps.
Authorities initially did not go into detail about what 2019 conduct prompted the charges, and it was also not clear if the charges were directly pertaining to the disappearance of Harmony. However, according to an affidavit, Adam was arrested on probable cause of second-degree assault stemming from an incident that occurred between July 1st and July 22nd, 2019, where Adam knowingly caused bodily injury to Harmony by striking her face. Now, this is not the first time I've heard this. Also in the affidavit, which they actually had parts of it blacked out, but I found it through a different source. Her uncle Kevin, I believe his name was, he came forward and said one time he went over there and Harmony looked like she had been beaten by like a man in a, like guys look like when they're in an MMA fight or a boxing match, like her eyes were all swollen. And he also stated that Adam admittedly said that he went and bashed her around the house because she was supposed to be watching her infant brother. And he started to cry and she put her hand over his mouth. So that was the reason he beat her up.
Now, whether this was reported early or not, I'm not sure. I did watch a press conference with the Manchester Police Department, and I believe a reporter asked that, and the police declined to comment.
Why was he not arrested then?
That's the thing I wonder. Was this actually reported in time? Are they going off witness statement without any evidence because they believe Adam is the person of interest in Harmony's disappearance and they want to hold him?
That's my guess.
Because we've looked at other cases in the past where there's been a lot more
Okay, they're way behind. Of course they were holding him because he's a person of interest and he has been convicted.
evidence on people and they've just let them go. It seems like they don't have a lot of evidence to hold Adam, but the Manchester police have not been transparent with their evidence, and understandably so, as this is an active investigation. They want to find Harmony.
It really seems like they're being real bulldogs over this and are digging deep.
I mean,
I commend it.
I mean, I'll say at the press conference, I don't recall his name, but he was definitely talking the talk. He was saying all the right things. And if the Manchester...
I personally was impressed by the Manchester Police Department, particularly the chief, because I could just feel the emotion in his voice, you know. And I agree with TM. We've heard everything, but where is the Catholic Medical Center bag? Now, where Adam drove when he had the U-Haul, I know several of you that live in that area have told me, and considering she was dismembered, that there could be, I don't know how to say it without just sounding like a gross, grim, disgusting person. No other way to say it. Piece over here, piece over here, piece over here, piece over there.
Like I said, with the Ayla Reynolds case, it's been years now. It has been like over a decade. And I feel they have enough information to arrest and hold Justin DiPietro, her father. There's enough information that they could get him on something.
In our opinion.
In our opinion. And they've yet to do that.
But the best thing you can do for Harmony's case, share this video, share the information down below, especially with people that you know are in the New Hampshire area, especially in the Manchester area. As far as the best thing you can do for us, you can listen to this episode to the end, as that helps our retention rate on YouTube. You can share this.
Yeah, we got the drill. Anyway, absolutely. Hang on. Absolutely disgusting. There's no getting around it. What Adam did. Crystal was an absentee mother. You can't deny that. You can't deny that. There was a grandmother that ignored what was going on. The uncle tried. He did. And now we find out this Soros guy from the trial and what's going on now just flat out didn't do his job. People were really pissed at the police, but if the police aren't notified, what do you want them to do? Because we remember when the uncle said that him and his mother came to get their stuff from the house, they brought police with them because they were scared about him. That right there would have been enough for me to say, if we're scared of him, then you know Harmony must be. Oh, thank you, Shonda. 1014, Underwood is gone. That's from our show yesterday, everybody, about Kevin Underwood. He is no longer of this planet. Woo. Woo. You're right, Nisa. It is a very heartbreaking story because everybody failed her, in my opinion, except for her little brother. He was the one crying for her. He was the one crying for her. All right, you guys. Well, I hope you have a superb rest of your Thursday. You all are just absolutely awesome. Look at this. donating to the channel, saying Merry Christmas. Look, Nisa, member for 34 months. Girl, where'd the time go? Man, we got to have a party. Actually, we are having a party. We're having a party with Meet the Moderator, judging Christmas trees, trivia, all the fun stuff on Monday. So make sure your membership's up to date, because there's one prize in particular that I think you're going to be really interested in. Thank you, Mod Squad. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, our girl TM, for stopping in to say hi. Missed you. So if I don't see you later today, whether it's in Discord or one of the Facebook groups, then I'll see you back here tomorrow, because we got a lot to talk about tomorrow. You know, my blood pressure's up there, my friends. My blood pressure's up there. I want to say very Merry Christmas to my friend Rebecca. You and Bree are warriors for Corey, and you're never going to stop. I admire you two so much. Y'all, later, Gators. You are the best.